The champagne flutes catch the light like small promises Maya Chen will never be able to afford. She arranges them on the tray with careful fingers, each one placed exactly 2 inches from the next, because perfection is the only currency that matters at the Carlyle. The venue hums with wealth. Marble floors reflect chandeliers that cost more than her yearly salary. Women in dresses that whisper against silk-stockinged legs, laugh at jokes that aren't funny, and men in tailored suits discuss numbers that would solve every problem Maya has ever had. She is invisible here. That's the point. Maya, table 7 needs refills, Caroline hisses, rushing past with her own tray. And Mr. Whitmore is looking for you. Maya's stomach tightens. Marcus Whitmore, 40-something venture capitalist with a smile that never reaches his eyes and hands that have found excuses to touch her shoulder, her waist, the small of her back, 3 times this month. Tell him I'm in the kitchen, Maya says. Tell him yourself, Caroline mutters. I'm not getting fired for covering for you. Fair enough. Maya lifts the tray and moves through the crowd with practiced efficiency. Smile, nod, offer champagne, retreat. Don't make eye contact long enough to be remembered. Don't stay still long enough to be cornered. She's been working at the Carlyle for 8 months, and tonight's tips could cover her sister's textbooks for the semester. Marcus Whitmore appears beside her near the bar, too close, cologne too strong. Maya, he says, voice smooth as expensive scotch. You've been avoiding me. His hand finds her elbow firm enough that she can't step away without making a scene. Let's talk. After your shift. I have a position opening up in my company. Executive assistant. Better pay. Better hours. The offer comes with conditions that taste like ash. That's kind of you, Maya says carefully. But I'm happy here. His grip tightens a fraction. You work 3 jobs, Maya. Don't pretend you're happy. Her pulse jumps. How does he know that? Before she can answer, a voice cuts through the space between them. Low, calm, absolute. Mr. Whitmore. If you're enjoying this story so far, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Drop a comment telling me where in the world you're watching from. I love hearing from you. Maya turns. The man standing 3 feet away wears the black suit and discreet earpiece of Carlyle security. She's seen him before, always on the edges of events, always watching. He's tall, broad-shouldered, with dark hair and a face that's too striking to be forgettable, but somehow she's never looked at him directly until now. His eyes are storm gray and fixed on Marcus Whitmore's hand on her arm. We need Miss Chen in the back for a moment, the security guard says. Kitchen issue. It's a lie. Maya knows every protocol, every signal. There's no kitchen issue. Marcus's jaw tightens. We're in the middle of a conversation. And now you're finished, the security guard says. His tone doesn't change, doesn't sharpen, but something in the air shifts. A pressure that makes Marcus's hand drop from Maya's elbow like he's been burned. This is inappropriate. Marcus says, puffing up. I'll be speaking to management about... You do that, the guard interrupts. Miss Chen? He extends a hand, not toward her, just indicating the direction. An exit, an escape. Maya should refuse. She should smile and smooth this over and keep Marcus Whitmore happy, because men like him can make her life difficult with a single phone call. But the security guard's eyes meet hers for a brief second, and she sees something there that makes her decision easy. She sets down her tray on the nearest table and walks toward him. Marcus starts to follow, and the guard simply pivots. A subtle movement, his body blocking the path, forcing Marcus to either go around or cause a scene. Marcus chooses retreat, but his eyes promise this isn't over. Maya walks through the ballroom, heart hammering, the security guard a silent presence at her shoulder. They pass through the service door into the hallway where staff rush between kitchen and event space. The noise of the gala fades to a dull hum. There's no kitchen issue, Maya says quietly. No, the guard agrees. There's not. She stops, turns to face him. Up close, he's even more intimidating. Not because he looks dangerous, though he absolutely does, but because he looks competent. Like a man who knows exactly what he's capable of and doesn't need to prove it. Why did you do that? She asks. Because he wasn't going to let go. The guard replies simply. I could have handled it. You shouldn't have to. The answer is so direct it steals her breath for a moment. Thank you, she says finally. But I need this job. If Marcus complains, he won't, the guard says with absolute certainty. How do you know? His mouth tilts in something that's not quite a smile. Because I'll have a conversation. With him first. Maya studies him. The sharp line of his jaw. The way he stands like he owns every room he enters. The expensive watch barely visible beneath his cuff. This is not a normal security guard. Who are you? She asks. Dante Moretti, he says. Head of security. I've worked here for 8 months. I've never seen you talk to anyone. That's by design, Dante replies. I don't talk unless there's a reason. And tonight there was a reason. His eyes hold hers. Tonight there was. The gala ends at midnight. But Maya's shift doesn't finish until the last glass is cleared and the last table is wiped down. By the time she changes out of her uniform in the staff locker room, it's nearly 1 in the morning. Her phone buzzes as she's pulling on her jacket. A text from her sister, Lily. Did you remember rent is due Friday? I can ask for extra shifts at the bookstore if you need help. Maya's chest tightens. Lily is 19 and should be worrying about exams, not her older sister's finances. I've got it covered, Maya types back. Focus on your midterms. Maya locks her locker and heads for the staff exit. The hallway is quiet now, just the hum of industrial refrigerators and the distant sound of a vacuum. She pushes through the heavy door into the alley behind the Carlisle. Cold November air hits her face. The city smells like rain and exhaust and someone's discarded takeout. She pulls her jacket tighter and starts walking toward the street. Footsteps echo behind her. Her muscles tense instantly, but she doesn't run. Running makes you pray. She learned that the hard way. Maya. She knows that voice. Smooth, entitled, angry. She turns slowly. Marcus Whitmore stands at the mouth of the alley, still in his expensive suit, but his tie is loosened and his face is flushed. Drunk or furious or both. Mr. Whitmore, she says carefully. The gala's over. You embarrassed me tonight, he interrupts, walking toward her. In front of my associates. Made me look like some kind of predator. I didn't say anything, Maya replies, backing up a step. You just let that security thug humiliate me, Marcus snaps. Do you know who I am? What I could do for you? I appreciate the offer, but I'm not interested, Maya says, trying to keep her voice level even though her heart is pounding. I should get home. It's late. She turns to leave, and his hand clamps around her wrist. Hard. We're not done talking, Marcus says. Pain shoots up her arm. She tries to pull away, and he yanks her back, slamming her against the brick wall. The impact knocks the air from her lungs. You think you're too good for me? Marcus hisses, face inches from hers, whiskey and rage on his breath. You're a waitress, a nobody. I was offering you a real future, and you, his words cut off abruptly, because a hand has appeared around his throat. Large, scarred knuckles, perfectly controlled pressure that lifts Marcus onto his toes. Dante Moretti stands behind him, expression carved from ice. Touch her again, Dante whispers, voice so low and lethal that Maya's skin prickles. And you're dead, Marcus makes a choking sound, hands scrabbling at Dante's grip. Dante doesn't squeeze harder. He doesn't need to. He simply holds Marcus there, suspended between violence and mercy, while his eyes flick to Maya. Are you hurt? Dante asks her, tone completely different when addressing her. Careful, concerned. Maya shakes her head, though her wrist throbs and her back aches from hitting the wall. Dante's jaw tightens. He looks back at Marcus. You're going to leave now, Dante says quietly. You're going to walk to your car, drive home, and never speak to Miss Chen again. You won't file a complaint. You won't mention her name. You won't think about her. He leans closer, and whatever Marcus sees in Dante's face makes him go completely still. Because if you do, Dante continues, I will find you. And what happens next won't be a conversation. He releases Marcus, who stumbles backward, coughing, one hand at his throat. You can't, Marcus stammers. I already did, Dante says. Leave. For a moment, Marcus looks like he might argue, might threaten lawyers and police and consequences. Then he looks at Dante again, really looks, and something in him breaks. He turns and runs. The alley falls silent, except for Maya's shaky breathing. Dante turns to her immediately, hands raised slightly, non-threatening. Are you okay? He asks. Maya starts, then stops, because she doesn't know how to finish that sentence. You could have killed him. No, Dante says. If I wanted to kill him, he'd already be dead. The casual certainty in his voice should terrify her. Instead, it makes her knees weak with relief. "Why were you out here?" she asks. "I saw him leave through the front entrance and then circle back," Dante replies. "I followed." "You were watching him?" "I was watching you," Dante corrects. "He was the problem." Maya's breath catches. "How long have you been watching me?" Dante hesitates, and for the first time, she sees something like uncertainty cross his face. 2 months, he admits finally. Since the first night Whitmore wouldn't take no for an answer. "Why?" Maya whispers. Dante steps closer, slow, careful, because no one else was. Her eyes sting. She blinks hard, refusing to cry in front of this stranger who isn't really a stranger at all. "I don't understand," she says. "You're head of security. You don't do this for every employee." "No," Dante agrees. "I don't." "Then why me?" His eyes search her face, and she sees him make a decision. "Because when I watched Marcus corner you the first time," Dante says quietly, "you apologized to him. You smiled and you apologized for existing in his space. And I realized no one had ever told you that you don't have to do that." Something cracks open in her chest. "I need to make rent," she says, voice breaking. "I need this job. I can't afford to." "You still have your job," Dante interrupts gently. "And Marcus Whitmore will not be a problem anymore." "You don't know that," Maya says. "Men like him, they have connections. Maya," Dante's voice stops her spiral. "I promise you, he will not be a problem." She wants to believe him. God, she wants to believe him so badly. "Who are you?" she asks again, because head of security doesn't explain the way he moved, the way he controlled Marcus without breaking a sweat, the absolute certainty in his voice. Dante holds her gaze. Someone who makes sure the right people stay safe. It's not an answer. It's also the only answer he's going to give. Maya shivers, adrenaline fading, cold seeping in. Dante notices immediately. "Let me drive you home," he says. "I can take the subway." Maya replies automatically. "It's 1 a.m. You just had a man twice your size assault you in an alley, and you're shaking," Dante says, tone, leaving no room for argument. "I'm driving you home." She should refuse. She should maintain boundaries, maintain distance. But her wrist hurts, and her back hurts, and she's so tired of being scared. "Okay," she whispers. Dante nods once. He leads her to the street where a black Mercedes is parked. Expensive, understated, exactly what she'd expect from a man who commands rooms without saying a word. He opens the passenger door for her. The interior smells like leather and something woodsy. Cedar, maybe. She sinks into the seat, and her body finally admits how close she came to something much worse than a bruised wrist. Dante slides into the driver's seat and starts the engine. "Address?" he asks. She gives him her apartment in Brooklyn, and he pulls into traffic smoothly. They drive in silence for several blocks. The city slides past the windows, late-night diners and closed storefronts, and the occasional drunk stumbling toward a cab. "Thank you," Maya says finally, "for tonight, for everything." "You don't need to thank me," Dante replies. "Yes, I do," she insists. "You saved me. Twice." His hands tighten slightly on the steering wheel. "You shouldn't need saving from men like Marcus Whitmore. The world should be better than that. But it's not," Maya says. "No," Dante agrees quietly. "It's not." They fall silent again. Maya watches his profile in the dim light from the dashboard. Strong features, a small scar near his temple, shadows under his eyes that suggest he doesn't sleep enough. "Can I ask you something?" she says. "Yes. When you told Marcus you'd find him if he came near me again, did you mean it?" Dante doesn't hesitate. "Yes. And you could do that? Just find him?" "I can find anyone," Dante says simply. The certainty in his voice should unsettle her. Instead, for the first time in months, Maya feels safe. They pull up outside her building 20 minutes later. It's not much. A 5-story walk-up with a bodega on the corner and graffiti on the mailboxes. But it's home. Maya reaches for the door handle, then pauses. "Dante," she says. "I don't know how to repay you for—" "You don't," he interrupts. "This isn't a transaction. Then what is it?" He turns to look at her, and the intensity in his eyes makes her breath catch. "I don't know yet," he admits. Before she can respond, His phone buzzes. He glances at the screen, and his expression shifts into something harder, more remote. "I need to take this," he says. "Will you be okay getting inside?" "Yes," Maya says, though she's not sure it's true. She gets out of the car and starts toward her building. Behind her, she hears Dante answer the phone, his voice dropping into Italian. She doesn't speak the language, but she recognizes the tone. Business. Authority. Command. She's halfway up the front steps when she realizes she never told him her last name. But he knew it. He called her Miss Chen, in front of Marcus. How did he know her last name? Maya turns back, but the Mercedes is already pulling away from the curb. Dante's voice carries faintly through the open window, sharp and decisive. "Non mi interessa cosa vuol Vitale. La ragazza non si tocca." I don't care what Vitale wants. The girl is not to be touched. Maya freezes. Vitale. She knows that name. Everyone in New York knows that name if they pay any attention to the news. The Vitale family. One of the 5 families that supposedly run organized crime in the city. And Dante just gave them an order. Her blood runs cold. Head of security. That's what he told her. But security guards don't give orders to mafia families. Security guards don't move the way Dante moves or speak with the authority he carries like a second skin. She thinks about the expensive watch, the way Marcus crumbled with a single look, the promise Dante made with such absolute certainty. I can find anyone. Oh God. Maya's hands shake as she unlocks her building's front door. She climbs the stairs to her 3rd floor. Apartment on autopilot, mind racing. Dante Moretti, head of security at the Carlyle. Except that's not what he is. That's just where he stands. She locks herself inside her tiny studio apartment and pulls out her phone. Her fingers hover over the search bar. She shouldn't. She should leave it alone. Accept what he told her. Be grateful he was there tonight. But she types his name anyway. The results load. Most are useless. Generic hits. Wrong people. Irrelevant articles. But then, buried on page 3, she finds something. A society photo from a charity gala 2 years ago. The caption reads, Dante Moretti, with philanthropist Catherine Vitale at the Children's Hospital benefit. Catherine Vitale, the matriarch of the Vitale family. Maya clicks the photo to enlarge it. Dante in a tuxedo, standing slightly behind an elegant woman in her 60s, his expression carefully neutral. But what catches Maya's attention is the way everyone else in the photo leans away from him. Subtle, unconscious, the body language of people who know danger when they see it. She searches deeper, finds more photos, more fragments. Dante at weddings, at funerals, at business openings. Always in the background, always watching, never named in the captions but always there. And then she finds the article. It's from 5 years ago, a piece in an investigative journalism site that was shut down shortly after publication. She has to use a cached version to read it. The Moretti legacy, how one family became the power behind the throne. The article is dense, full of speculation and anonymous sources, but the core is clear. The Moretti family has served the Vitales for 3 generations. Not as soldiers, but as something more dangerous. Advisors, enforcers, the people who handle problems that need to disappear quietly. And Dante Moretti is the current head of the family. Maya's phone slips from her hand onto the bed. The man who saved her tonight, who drove her home, who promised Marcus Whitmore would never touch her again, isn't a security guard. He's a mafia enforcer, and he's been watching her for 2 months. Her door buzzer rings, harsh and sudden. Maya jumps, heart in her throat. She doesn't move, doesn't breathe. The buzzer rings again. Then her phone vibrates with a text from an unknown number. It's Dante. You forgot your work bag in my car. I'll leave it outside your door. She hears footsteps in the hallway. A soft thud as something sets down. Then footsteps retreating. Maya waits 5 minutes before she opens her door. Her work bag sits on the mat, exactly as he promised. Tucked inside, on top of her folded uniform, is a business card. Plain white, just a phone number, no name, no title. And underneath, written in strong, precise handwriting, call if you need anything, day or night. I meant what I said. Maya picks up the card with shaking hands. She knows what she should do. Throw it away. Quit her job at the Carlyle. Move if she has to. Distance herself from a man who orders mafia families around and makes men disappear. But when she closes her eyes, she feels Marcus's hand on her wrist, the brick wall at her back, the terror of being powerless. And then she feels Dante's presence. Solid and certain. The way he looked at her like she mattered. Like her safety was worth more than the consequences. Touch her again and you're dead. Maya puts the card in her wallet behind her subway pass, where no one will see it but she'll always know it's there. She doesn't know what Dante Moretti really is. But she knows he's the only person who's protected her when no one else would. And in a city that takes more than it gives, that has to count for something. Maya doesn't see Dante for 3 days. She goes to work at the Carlyle, serves champagne at a corporate dinner, smiles at guests who don't see her, and pretends everything is normal. Marcus Whitmore doesn't return. His name disappears from the VIP reservation list. When Maya asks Caroline about it, her coworker just shrugs. Heard he got food poisoning, Caroline says. Shame, he tipped well. Food poisoning. Maya almost laughs. Is that what they're calling it now? She works her morning shift at the cafe, tutors a high school student in calculus, goes home to her empty apartment, and stares at the business card she shouldn't have kept. Call if you need anything. She doesn't call. What would she even say? Thank you for threatening to kill someone on my behalf? Who are you really? Why me? On the 4th day, Lily texts her. Someone came by the bookstore asking about you. Older guy, expensive suit. Said he was a friend. I told him you don't have friends who wear Rolex watches. Did I screw up? Maya's blood runs cold. She calls Lily immediately. What did he look like? Maya asks before her sister can even say hello. Geez, hello to you too, Lily says. White guy, maybe 50? Silver hair, really blue eyes. Smiled a lot, but it was kind of creepy. He asked where you lived. What did you tell him? Nothing, Lily says, sounding offended. I'm not an idiot. I told him I couldn't give out personal information, and he should contact you through your work if he really knew you. Why? Who is he? I don't know, Maya says honestly. But if you see him again, don't talk to him, and call me immediately. You're scaring me, Lily says quietly. I'm sorry, Maya replies. Just be careful, okay? I'll explain later. She hangs up and stares at the phone in her hand. Then she pulls out Dante's card and dials the number. He picks up on the second ring. Maya. Just her name, but the way he says it makes her chest tighten. Someone's asking about me, she says without preamble. He went to my sister's workplace. Older man, expensive suit, silver hair. Silence on the other end, not empty silence, thinking in silence. Where are you right now? Dante asks. Home. Lock your door. Don't open it for anyone. I'm 10 minutes away. Dante, who is he? 10 minutes, Dante repeats. Stay inside. He hangs up. Maya locks the deadbolt, the chain, wedges a chair under the doorknob the way her mother taught her when they lived in worse neighborhoods than this. She pulls the curtains closed and sits on her bed with her back to the wall, watching the door. 8 minutes later, someone knocks. 3 sharp raps. Maya. It's me. She recognizes Dante's voice, but she still looks through the peephole before opening the door. He's not alone. There's a woman with him, mid-30s, dark hair pulled into a severe bun, wearing black pants and a leather jacket that doesn't quite hide the gun at her hip. Maya opens the door. Dante steps inside immediately, eyes scanning the apartment with professional efficiency. The woman follows, moving to the window to check the fire escape. This is Sophia, Dante says. She's with me. Sophia nods at Maya but doesn't smile. Apartment's clear, she says to Dante. But the lock on the fire escape window is a joke. Anyone could pop it in 30 seconds. We're not staying, Dante replies. He turns to Maya. Pack a bag. Essentials only. You have 5 minutes. What? Maya says. I can't just leave. I have work tomorrow. And Lily, the man who asked about you is named Richard Sullivan, Dante interrupts. He works for people who want to use you to get to me. You're not safe here. The words land like stones in water, rippling outward. Use me to get to you. Maya repeats. Why would anyone? We barely know each other. Dante's jaw tightens. They know I pulled you out of that alley. They know I made Marcus Whitmore disappear. That's enough. You said you made him leave, Maya whispers. Not disappear. There's a difference. There is, Dante agrees. And I chose the word carefully. Marcus Whitmore is currently enjoying an extended vacation in the Cayman Islands. He won't be coming back to New York. Ever. Maya sits down on the bed because her legs won't hold her anymore. You exiled him. I gave him a choice, Dante corrects. Prison, hospital, or a one-way ticket out of the country with enough money to live comfortably if he never uses his real name again. He chose the third option. And the people who sent Richard Sullivan, they're angry about that? They're testing me, Dante says. Seeing if I've gone soft. Seeing if they can leverage you to control my decisions. Why would you going soft matter to them? Maya asks, though she already knows the answer. Dante crouches in front of her so they're at eye level. Because I make decisions that affect their operations. And if they think I'm compromised, they'll try to either use that or eliminate the problem. I'm the problem, Maya says flatly. No, Dante says, voice hard. They are. You're just a person trying to live your life. That's not a crime, but knowing you is. He doesn't deny it. Sophia clears her throat from her position by the window. We should move. Sullivan's not working alone, and if he knows where her sister works, he knows where she lives. Dante stands. Pack a bag, Maya, please. Where are you taking me? She asks. Somewhere safe. Somewhere only 3 people in the world know about. 3 people? Me, Sophia, and now you. Maya looks at the woman by the window. Sophia meets her gaze steadily. You can trust him, Sophia says. I know that's asking a lot. But Dante doesn't make promises he can't keep. Maya thinks about Lily, about her shifts at the cafe and the Carlisle, about the life she's built out of determination and exhaustion. Then she thinks about a silver-haired man with a creepy smile asking her 19-year-old sister where she lives. She stands and pulls a duffel bag from under her bed. 5 minutes? She says. She packs quickly. Clothes, toiletries, her laptop, chargers, the photo of her parents she keeps on the nightstand. At the last second, she grabs the textbook she's supposed to be using for her tutoring session tomorrow. Dante watches. From the doorway. Your work, I'll handle it. You're taking a family emergency leave. Paid. You can't just... I can, he says simply. And I will. Your sister? She's at class until 6. Then she has her shift at the bookstore. Give me her schedule. I'll have someone watch her. Not close enough to spook her, just close enough to intervene if Sullivan tries again. Maya pulls out her phone and texts him Lily's schedule. Dante's phone buzzes, and he glances at it, then makes a call. He speaks quietly in Italian again, too fast for Maya to catch anything except Lily's name and the word protezione, protection. When he hangs up, he looks at Maya. She'll be safe, I promise. How can you promise that? Maya asks, frustration bleeding into her voice. You're one person. They're however many they are. I'm not one person, Dante says. I'm the person 40 others answer to. Your sister will have eyes on her every time she leaves her dorm. She won't know, won't feel watched, but if anyone approaches her, they'll be stopped before they get within 10 feet. The casual certainty with which he reorganizes her entire life should make her angry. Instead, she just feels tired. Okay, she says. Okay. They leave through the back stairwell. Sophia goes first, hand near her weapon, eyes sharp. Dante stays close to Maya, positioning himself between her and every corner, every shadow. The car is different from the Mercedes. This one is a dark SUV with tinted windows and a driver already behind the wheel. A young man, early 20s, with nervous energy. This is Marco, Dante says. He's going to take your car and park it at your work. Make it look like you're still following your normal routine. I don't have a car, Maya says. I know. That's why it'll look convincing when it doesn't show up anywhere. Sophia huffs something that might be a laugh. He means we're covering your digital footprint. Your phone stays here, turned on. We'll move it to your work, your sister's place, the cafe. Anyone tracking you will think you're still moving through your normal life. And what do I use? Maya asks. Dante hands her a new phone, still in the box. Burner. Pre-programmed with 3 numbers. Mine, Sophia's, and an emergency line. Don't call anyone else. Maya takes the phone, and reality finally settles over her like a heavy coat. She's leaving her life behind. Not forever, maybe, but for long enough that nothing will look the same when she comes back. If she comes back. They drive for 40 minutes, out of Brooklyn, through Queens, into a part of Long Island Maya's never been to. The houses here are spread out, hidden behind trees and gates. Old money trying to look modest. Dante pulls up to a 2-story house that looks like it belongs to a normal family. Painted shutters, a small garden, a porch with 2 chairs. "This is it?" Maya asks. "This is it," Dante confirms. Inside, the house is nicer than she expected. Hardwood floors, clean furniture, a kitchen that's been updated recently. It smells faintly of lemon cleaner and something else. Safety. Maybe, if safety had a scent. There's food in the fridge and pantry, Sophia says, moving through the house with the same professional efficiency she showed at Maya's apartment. The security system is live, cameras on all entry points. If anyone approaches the property, you'll get an alert on the burner phone. "How long do I stay here?" Maya asks. Dante sets her bag down by the stairs. "Until we neutralize the threat. Which means, I find everyone who knows about you. I make it clear that you're off limits. And I ensure they understand the consequences of testing that boundary." Maya wraps her arms around herself. "You're going to hurt people because of me. I'm going to stop people from hurting you," Dante corrects. "There's a difference. Is there?" His eyes darken. "Yes, because the men I'm dealing with have already hurt others. They'll hurt more if someone doesn't stop them. That's the world I come from, Maya. I didn't make it, I just learned how to survive it." She wants to argue, to say there has to be another way. But she thinks about Richard Sullivan's creepy smile, about Marcus Whitmore's hand on her wrist, about all the times she swallowed her fear and smiled and apologized for taking up space. "Okay," she says quietly. Dante steps closer. "I know this is a lot. I know you didn't ask for any of this. But I need you to trust me for a little while longer." "Why?" Maya asks. "Why does it matter so much to you? You don't owe me anything." He's quiet for a long moment. When he speaks, his voice is lower, rougher. 5 years ago, I watched a woman get pulled into a car outside a restaurant. She was screaming. I was 50 feet away. I didn't move fast enough. By the time I reached her, the car was gone." Maya's breath catches. "We found her 3 days later," Dante continues. "Dead. Because she saw something she shouldn't have, and someone decided she was. Easier to eliminate than to ignore." "Dante," Maya whispers. "I swore after that," he says, "that if I ever had the chance to stop it from happening again, I would. No hesitation, no calculating the cost. I would just act." He looks at her, and she sees the weight he carries, the ghosts he'll never put down. "You're that chance," he says simply. Maya's eyes sting. "I don't know how to be worth that." "You already are," Dante replies. "Just by being someone who deserves to be safe." Sophia clears her throat again, and Maya realizes the other woman has been standing in the doorway, giving them space but staying close. "I'll do a perimeter check," Sophia says. "Dante, you should brief her on the protocols." She leaves, and the house feels smaller with just the 2 of them. Dante walks Maya through the security system, showing her how to arm and disarm it, which cameras cover which angles, where the safe room is if someone breaches the property. "There's a gun in the nightstand upstairs," he says. "Do you know how to use one?" "No," Maya admits. "Then don't touch it unless I tell you to. If something happens and I'm not here, Sophia will handle it. And if neither of you are here?" "That won't happen," Dante says with absolute certainty. "One of us will be within 5 minutes of this house at all times." Maya looks around the living room, at the comfortable couch and the bookshelf full of thrillers and the window that shows a quiet street where nothing bad is supposed to happen. "How long have you owned this place?" she asks. 2 years. "I bought it after..." He stops, recalibrates. "After I realized I needed somewhere that wasn't connected to my family's name. Somewhere to hide. Somewhere to breathe." He corrects. They're quiet for a moment. Then Maya says, "I should call Lily, let her know I'm okay. Use the burner," Dante reminds her. "And don't tell her where you are, just that you're safe." Maya nods and dials her sister's number. Lily picks up immediately. "Maya, this isn't your number." "I know. My phone died. I'm using a friend's." "What friend?" "You don't have friends." Maya huffs a laugh. "Thanks for that. You know what I mean," Lily says. "You work 3 jobs and sleep 4 hours a night. When would you make friends?" "Fair point." Maya takes a breath. "Listen, I'm taking a few days off. Family emergency." "What emergency?" "I'm your only family, and I'm fine." "It's complicated," Maya says. "But I'm okay. I just need you to be careful for a little while. Careful how? If anyone approaches you asking about me, don't talk to them, and call me immediately on this number. Lily's quiet for a beat. Maya, you're scaring me. What's going on? I promise I'll explain everything soon, Maya says. I just need you to trust me right now. Another pause. Then, okay. But you owe me answers. I know. I love you. Love you too, weirdo. Maya hangs up and closes her eyes. When she opens them, Dante is watching her with an expression she can't read. She'll be okay, he says. You can't know that. Yes, he says. I can. Maya spends the first day in the safe house pacing. She reads. She tries to work on her laptop, but she can't focus. She cooks pasta for dinner and eats half of it before giving up. Sophia stops by in the evening, does a security check, and leaves without much conversation. Dante doesn't come at all. Maya tells herself she's not disappointed. He's busy protecting her from a distance, making threats, rearranging the criminal underworld so one waitress can sleep without fear. She's not disappointed. By the second day, she's climbing the walls. She texts Dante on the burner phone. How much longer? His response comes 5 minutes later. Soon. Are you okay? I'm bored. That's a good sign, right? Means I'm not terrified. That's a very good sign. She stares at the phone, then types again. Can I ask you something? Always. Why does everyone call you Dante? Isn't that, I don't know, old-fashioned? The typing. Bubble appears, disappears, appears again. It's a family name. My grandfather. He was the first Moretti to work for the Vitalis. I was named after him because my father believed in tradition. And what do you believe in? This time the pause is longer. I'm still figuring that out. Maya sets the phone down and curls up on the couch. Outside, the sun sets behind the trees, painting everything gold and shadow. Her phone buzzes again. I'm coming by tonight. I'll bring real food, not whatever you've been surviving on. She laughs despite herself. How do you know I haven't been eating? Because when you're anxious, you forget to take care of yourself. Sophia told me you barely touched the pasta. Sophia's a snitch. Sophia's observant. There's a difference. If you're hooked on this story, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Your support means everything and helps me bring you more emotional stories like this one. Maya showers and changes into clean clothes, then immediately feels ridiculous for caring what she looks like. This isn't a date. This is a mafia enforcer checking on his responsibility. Except when Dante arrives 2 hours later, carrying bags from an Italian restaurant that smells incredible. The way he looks at her doesn't feel like responsibility. You look better, he says, setting the food on the kitchen counter. Better than what? Maya asks. Better than you did in that alley. Fair point. They eat at the small dining table. Dante serves her first chicken marsala, roasted vegetables, fresh bread that's still warm. He eats like someone who forgot food was supposed to be enjoyable, efficient, and focused. When's the last time you slept? Maya asks. He glances up. Last night. For how long? 3 hours. Dante. I'm fine, he says. I've functioned on less. That doesn't mean you should. His mouth quirks. Are you worried about me? Yes, she says honestly. You're running yourself into the ground because of me. I'm running myself into the ground because dangerous men think they can use you as leverage. Dante corrects. That's not your fault. Maya sets down her fork. Can I ask what you found out? About Sullivan and whoever sent him? Dante's expression shudders slightly. Are you sure you want to know? I'm already here, hiding in a house I can't leave. I think I deserve to know why. He nods slowly. Richard Sullivan works for a man named Vincent Caruso. Caruso runs operations on the south side, gambling, loan sharking, some trafficking. He's been pushing into territory the Vitales control, testing boundaries. And I'm part of that test, Maya says. Yes. When I dealt with Marcus Whitmore, I used resources connected to the Vital family. Caruso heard about it, decided to see if he could get to me through you. Why you specifically? Dante hesitates. Because I've stopped 3 of his operations in the past year. He wants me distracted or compromised. Either works for him. Maya processes this. So the plan is to... what? Make him leave me alone? The plan is to make him disappear, Dante says simply. Her stomach drops. Disappear like Marcus? Or disappear? That depends on what he does next. Dante replies, voice flat. If he backs off, he gets to keep running his small-time operations from a distance. If he escalates, I handle it permanently. Handle it. Maya repeats. You mean kill him? I mean protect you, Dante says, meeting her eyes. By whatever means necessary. The air between them feels charged, heavy. I don't want you to kill someone because of me, Maya whispers. Then he should make better choices, Dante replies. They're quiet for a long moment. Then Maya asks, have you killed people? She expects him to deflect, to shut down, to remind her that some questions are safer left unasked. Instead he says, yes, just like that, honest and unadorned. How many? She asks, then immediately shakes her head. I'm sorry, you don't have. 11, Dante says. In 15 years. Maya's hands tremble slightly. She sets them in her lap. Did they deserve it? She asks. They were all people who hurt others, and would have continued hurting others if someone didn't stop them, Dante says. Whether that constitutes deserving it is a philosophical question I stopped asking myself a long time ago. But you still remember the number. I remember all of them, Dante says quietly. Their names, their faces, what they did to earn their deaths. I don't forget. That's the price. Maya looks at him, really looks at him, the shadows under his eyes, the way his shoulders carry tension even when he's sitting still, the careful control in every movement. You're not a monster, she says. His jaw tightens. You don't know that. Yes, I do. Monsters don't remember. They don't count. They don't care. Caring doesn't make me good, Dante says. It just makes me guilty. Then I guess we're both guilty, Maya replies. Because I can't seem to stop caring about you, even though I probably should. The words hang in the air between them. Dante stares at her like she's just said something in a language he doesn't speak. Maya, he starts, then stops, starts again. You shouldn't. I know, she interrupts. I know all the reasons why this is a bad idea. You've killed people. You're connected to organized crime. Being near you puts me in danger. I've had 2 days alone in this house to list every logical reason I should be terrified of you. And yet, when I think about that alley, about Marcus's hand on my wrist, about the moment I realized I couldn't fight him off. Her voice cracks. The only thing that made me feel safe was you. Dante closes his eyes briefly, like her words cause physical pain. You shouldn't feel safe with me, he says. I'm the reason you're in danger. No, Maya says firmly. Caruso is the reason I'm in danger. Marcus Whitmore is the reason. Men who think they can take whatever they want are the reason. You're just the first person who actually stopped them. He opens his eyes, and the look in them makes her breath catch. I don't know how to do this, he admits quietly. Care about someone who isn't part of this world. I don't know how to keep you safe and keep you close at the same time. Then we figure it out together, Maya says. Or we don't. But I'm tired of pretending I don't want to try. Dante stands abruptly, running a hand through his hair. He walks to the window, looks out at the dark street, turns back to face her. If we do this, he says slowly, if I let myself, there's no going back. The people in my world, they'll see you as leverage forever. You'll always be looking over your shoulder. Always wondering if the man approaching you is a threat. Always aware that caring about me makes you a target. I'm already a target, Maya points out. At least this way, I choose it. He crosses the room in 3 strides and kneels in front of her chair, bringing them eye to eye. I will do everything in my power to keep you safe, he says, voice intense. But I can't promise nothing will ever happen. I can't promise there won't be more nights like this, more times you have to hide. This life, it doesn't come with guarantees. Maya reaches out and cups his face, feeling the scratch of stubble against her palm. Nothing comes with guarantees, she says softly. At least with you, I know you'll fight for me. He leans into her touch, just slightly, and she sees the moment he stops fighting himself. I'll fight for you, he promises, until there's nothing left to fight. Then he kisses her. It's nothing like she expected. Not aggressive or claiming. Gentle, almost reverent, like he's afraid she'll break or disappear if he pushes too hard. Maya kisses him back, fingers threading into his hair, pulling him closer. He makes a low sound in his chest and deepens the kiss, one hand coming up to cradle the back of her head. When they finally break apart, both breathing hard, Dante rests his forehead against hers. "I'm not good at this," he murmurs. "At kissing? Because I disagree." He huffs a laugh. "At being with someone. At being normal." "Good thing I'm not asking for normal," Maya says. He pulls back just enough to look at her. "What are you asking for?" "Honestly," she considers, "for you to let me choose you. Not because you saved me, not because I owe you, but because when I look at you, I see someone who's fighting to be better than the world that made him, and that's worth something." His eyes search her face. "You're sure?" "I'm terrified," Maya admits, "but I'm sure. If you're hooked on this story, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Your support means everything and helps me bring you more emotional stories like this one." "I'm terrified," Maya admits, "but I'm sure." They fall asleep on the couch, Maya tucked against Dante's side, his arm around her shoulders. It's the first time in days she doesn't dream about the alley. She wakes to voices. Dante is already sitting up, instantly alert. Sophia stands in the doorway, expression grim. "We have a problem," Sophia says. Maya's stomach drops. "What kind of problem?" "Caruso knows where Lily lives," Sophia says. "He sent 2 guys to her dorm. Campus security stopped them before they reached her room, but they were armed." Dante stands, already pulling out his phone. "Is she safe?" "For now. I've got 3 people outside her building and 2 more watching the exits. But Dante Caruso's escalating. This isn't a test anymore. It's a move." Maya scrambles to her feet. "I need to call her. Is she okay? Did they hurt her?" "She's fine," Sophia assures her. "She doesn't even know they were there. Campus security thinks they were trespassing students. She needs to stay not knowing," Dante says. Phone to his ear. He speaks in rapid Italian, short, clipped sentences that sound like orders. When he hangs up, he looks at Maya. "I need to handle this. Tonight." "Handle how?" Maya asks, though she already knows. "I'm meeting with Caruso. We're going to have a conversation about boundaries. And if he doesn't respect those boundaries?" Dante's expression goes cold. Then the conversation becomes very short. Maya grabs his arm. Don't do this because of me. Just we can go to the police. Or, the police can't help with this," Dante says gently. "Caruso has half the local precinct on his payroll. Any report would disappear before it was filed." "Then I'll disappear," Maya says desperately. "I'll leave the city. Take Lily and go somewhere he can't find us." "He'll find you," Dante says. "Men like Caruso don't let go once they've decided you're useful. The only way to stop him is to make you too expensive to pursue." "And how do you do that?" His eyes meet hers, and she sees the answer there before he speaks it. "By being more dangerous than whatever he gains from threatening you." Sophia steps forward. "Maya, I know this is a lot, but Dante's right. Caruso won't stop unless he's forced to. And the only language men like him understand is power." "So you're going to hurt him," Maya says. "I'm going to give him a choice," Dante corrects. "The same choice I gave Marcus Whitmore. Walk away, or face consequences that are significantly worse than whatever he hoped to gain." Maya feels tears prick her eyes. "I hate this. I hate that you have to do this." Dante cups her face in his hands. "I know, but I need you to stay here with Sophia while I take care of it. Can you do that?" She wants to say no. She wants to tell him there has to be another way. But when she thinks about Lily, about armed men approaching her baby sister's dorm room, about how close they came to okay, she whispers, "Be careful." "Always," he says. He kisses her forehead, then her mouth, quick and fierce. Then he's gone, and Maya is left standing in the safe house with Sophia and the weight of everything that's about to happen. "He'll be okay," Sophia says quietly. "Dante doesn't lose. Everyone loses eventually," Maya replies. Sophia's expression softens. Not him. Not when he's fighting for someone he cares about. Maya sinks onto the couch. "How long have you known him?" 6 years. He pulled me out of a bad situation, gave me a job, trained me, treated me like a person instead of a weapon. Sophia sits across from her. "I've seen him do a lot of things I wouldn't tell my priest about, but I've never seen him like this." "Like what?" "Scared," Sophia says simply. "He's always been focused, controlled. But with you? He's afraid. That's new. I don't want him to be afraid for me, Maya says. Too late, Sophia replies. He already is. They wait in tense silence. Sophia makes coffee. Maya pretends to drink it. The burner phone sits on the table between them, silent and accusatory. An hour passes, then two. Finally, at 11:47, the phone buzzes. It's done. Caruso won't be a problem anymore. Maya's hands shake as she types back. Are you okay? Yes, I'm coming to you. She waits another 30 minutes before she hears the car in the driveway. Sophia checks the security camera, nods, and opens the door. Dante walks in, and Maya's breath catches. There's blood on his knuckles. His shirt is torn at the collar. He moves stiffly, favoring his left side. You're hurt, Maya says, rushing to him. I'm fine, he says automatically. You're bleeding. Not my blood, he says, then sees her expression and softens. Mostly not my blood. Sophia disappears tactfully into the kitchen. Maya guides Dante to the couch and goes to get the first aid kit she saw under the bathroom sink. When she returns, he's sitting with his head tilted back, eyes closed, breathing carefully. Cracked rib? Maya asks, recognizing the posture from the time Lily fell off her bike. Probably, Dante admits. Caruso had security. They were persistent. Maya's hands tremble as she opens the first aid kit. Tell me what happened. I walked into his club, asked for a meeting. He agreed, probably because he thought he had the advantage on his own territory. Dante opens his eyes. I explained that you and your sister were off limits. He disagreed. Things escalated. How badly? He's alive, Dante says. But he won't be using his right hand for a few months, and his operation is now under new management. Someone who understands the rules. Maya cleans the blood from his knuckles with shaking hands. You could have died. I didn't, but you could have. He catches her wrist gently. Maya, look at me. She does. His eyes are tired but steady. I've been doing this for 15 years, he says. I know how to handle men like Caruso. I wouldn't have gone if I thought I'd lose. You can't promise that, she whispers. No one can promise that. No, he agrees. But I can promise that I'll fight like hell to come back to you. And tonight, I did. She finishes bandaging his hands, then very carefully, very gently, wraps her arms around him. He stiffens in surprise, then slowly relaxes into the embrace. Thank you, she murmurs against his shoulder. For protecting Lily. For protecting me. His arms come up to hold her. Always. They stay like that for a long time, until Sophia quietly announces she's leaving for the night, and reminds them to set the alarm. When they're alone, Maya pulls back just enough to look at Dante. Will it always be like this? She asks. Danger and blood and hiding? I don't know, he says honestly. I'm trying to build something different, something cleaner, but that takes time. And if you can't, he cups her face. Then I'll make sure you and Lily are so far removed from it that nothing touches you. Even if that means I have to step away. I don't want you to step away, Maya says fiercely. I want you to stay and fight for both of us, for a future where we don't have to hide. Something shifts in his expression. You really mean that? I really mean that. He kisses her again, deeper this time, and she tastes copper and possibility, and the beginning of something that doesn't have a name yet. When they finally break apart, Dante stands carefully, wincing. I should shower, get the rest of this blood off. I'll help, Maya says, then blushes. I mean with the bandages, if you need, he smiles, and it transforms his face. I know what you meant. But when they're in the bathroom, and she's carefully unwrapping his injured hands so he can wash them, something shifts. The steam, the proximity, the way he looks at her like she's something precious he's afraid to break. Maya, he says quietly. She meets his eyes. If we do this, he says, if we really do this, I need you to know I'm all in. No hesitation, no holding back. You'll have all of me, including the parts that aren't easy to love. I already told you, she says, stepping closer. I'm not afraid of the parts that aren't easy. His hands, still damp, frame her face. Then stay, he murmurs. Stay with me tonight, tomorrow. As long as you'll have me. That might be a very long time, Maya warns. Good, he says. And when he kisses her this time, it feels like a promise neither of them knows how to keep, but both of them are determined to try. 3 weeks pass in the safe house. 3 weeks of Maya learning the rhythms of Dante's world. The late-night phone calls, the meetings that last until dawn, the careful dance of power and threat that keeps fragile peace. She returns to work at the Carlyle on a limited schedule. Dante insists on driving her personally, waiting in the parking lot like a particularly well-armed chauffeur. Marcus Whitmore's name never comes up again. Richard Sullivan, she learns from Sophia, took an early retirement to Florida. Vincent Caruso runs his operations from a hospital bed, then from home, then not at all. Someone else takes over his territory. Someone who sends Dante a bottle of expensive scotch and a handwritten note that simply says, "Understood." Lily finishes her midterms and calls Maya every other day, completely unaware that armed guards have been shadowing her for weeks. Life almost feels normal. That's when Maya should have known something was wrong. She's closing at the Carlyle on a Thursday night when her burner phone rings. Not a text, a call. From a number that's not Dante's or Sophia's, she answers cautiously. "Hello?" Maya Chen. The voice is male, older, cultured. "My name is Vincent Vitale. I believe you know someone who works for my family." Her blood turns to ice. Vincent Vitale. The head of the Vitale family, the man Dante answers to. "I don't," she starts. "Please don't insult either of us with denials." Vincent interrupts smoothly. "Dante has been very distracted lately. I'd like to meet with you. Discuss the situation." "What situation?" Maya asks, though her hands are shaking. "The one where my most valuable asset is. Making decisions based on emotion rather than strategy," Vincent says. "Tomorrow, 2 p.m. I'll send a car. And if I refuse, then Dante will receive a different phone call. One that requires him to make a choice I don't think he's prepared for." The line goes dead. Maya stands frozen in the empty ballroom, chandelier light reflecting off polished floors, and realizes the peace was always an illusion. She doesn't tell Dante about the call. Not that night when he picks her up, not when they return to the safe house, not when they fall asleep tangled together. She tells herself she's protecting him, that she can handle one meeting with Vincent Vitale, explain that she's not a distraction, that Dante is still loyal to the family. Deep down, she knows she's lying to herself. The next day, she texts Dante that she's picking up an extra shift at the cafe. He offers to drive her. She insists she needs independence, needs to feel normal. He relents, but she can hear the worry in his voice. The car that picks her up is black, expensive, and driven by a man who looks like he eats threats for breakfast. He drives her to a restaurant in Manhattan, the kind with no prices on the menu and a waiting list that's 6 months long. Vincent Vitale sits at a corner table, a man in his late 60s with silver hair and the kind of face that's seen everything twice. He stands when she approaches, gentleman's manners wrapped around a core of steel. "Miss Chen, thank you for coming." "I didn't have much choice," Maya says. His mouth quirks. "No, you didn't. Please, sit." She does, feeling like she's walking into a trap she can see but can't avoid. Vincent pours her wine she doesn't want, and studies her with eyes that miss nothing. "You're wondering why I asked to meet," he says. "I'm wondering what you want from me," Maya corrects. "Honest. Good." He sips his wine. "I want to understand what Dante sees in you. What he sees in me." Maya repeats. "He's risking everything for why?" "You," Vincent says. "His position, his reputation, the careful balance we've maintained for years." Vincent Caruso was a small problem that became a large one because Dante chose personal loyalty over strategic thinking. "He was protecting me," Maya says. "Exactly," Vincent replies. "And that's the problem. Men in Dante's position can't afford personal attachments. They make us vulnerable. They make us weak." Maya's spine straightens. "Caring about people doesn't make you weak." "In our world, it does," Vincent says. "Tell me, Miss Chen, what happens when Dante has to choose between you and an order from me? Between your safety and the family's interests?" "He'll choose what's right," Maya says. "And who decides what's right?" Vincent leans forward. "You? Him? Or the organization that's kept him alive and powerful for 15 years? Maya's throat tightens. "What do you want me to do?" "I want you to disappear," Vincent says simply. "Not dead, not harmed, just gone. I'll provide money, a new identity, A fresh start anywhere in the world. You and your sister. Comfortable lives. Far from here. And Dante? Dante goes back to being who he was before you. Focused, effective, uncompromised. Maya stares at him. You're asking me to leave him. I'm giving you an opportunity to save his life, Vincent corrects. Because if he keeps prioritizing you over the family, eventually someone will move against him. And when that happens, I won't be able to protect him. Why not? Maya demands. You're the head of the family. I can only protect people who follow the rules, Vincent interrupts. Dante is breaking them. For you. And if I make an exception, every other soldier, every other captain will think they can do the same. The structure collapses. People die. He sits back, expression almost sympathetic. I like Dante. He's smart, loyal, effective. I don't want to lose him, but I will if I have to. Maya's vision blurs. So I'm supposed to just vanish? Break his heart to save his life? If you really care about him, Vincent says quietly, yes. That's not fair. No, Vincent agrees. But it's the choice you have. Maya stands on shaking legs. I need time to think. You have until Monday, Vincent says. After that, I make decisions Dante won't forgive. She leaves the restaurant feeling like she's drowning. The driver takes her back to Brooklyn, drops her at her old apartment. She sits on the front steps and cries for the first time since the alley. Her phone, her real phone, the one she hasn't used in weeks, buzzes in her pocket. A text from an unknown number. Cute meeting. But Vincent's wrong about one thing. Dante won't choose you over the family. He'll choose the family and hate himself forever. Thought you should know before you make any noble sacrifices. A friend Maya stares at the message, stomach churning. Then she calls the one person who might tell her the truth. Sophia answers on the first ring. Maya? Why are you calling from your old number? Where are you? I met with Vincent Vitale, Maya says. Silence. Then, fuck. Does Dante know? No. Sophia, I need you to tell me the truth. If Dante has to choose between me and the family, what does he pick? Sophia's quiet for a long moment. I don't know. And that terrifies me. Maya goes back to the safe house because she has nowhere else to go. Dante's there, pacing, phone pressed to his ear, voice sharp with anger. He sees her and his expression shifts instantly to relief. She's here. I'll call you back. He hangs up and crosses to her in 3 strides. Where were you? I've been calling. I turned off the burner, Maya says. I needed to think. About what? Then his eyes narrow. What happened? She could lie. She should lie. Instead, she says, I met with Vincent Vitale. The color drains from Dante's face. You what? He called me. Asked me to meet. I thought I don't know what I thought. That I could explain. That I could convince. Him I'm not a problem. Dante's hands curl into fists. What did he say? Maya tells him everything. The offer, the threat, the impossible choice. When she finishes, Dante turns away, runs both hands through his hair. He had no right. He has every right, Maya interrupts. He's your boss. I'm the distraction that's making you vulnerable. You're not a distraction, Dante says fiercely. You're... He stops, jaw working. I'm what? Maya pushes. You're the first thing that's made me want a different life, he says. The first person who's made me think maybe I could be something other than what I was raised to be. Her chest aches. And what's Vincent think about that? I don't care what Vincent thinks. Yes, you do, Maya says quietly. You care because he's right. If you keep choosing me, eventually they'll come for both of us, and you can't protect me from an entire organization. Watch me, Dante says. Dante, no. He turns back to face her, expression harder than she's ever seen. I didn't survive 15 years in this world by letting other people dictate my choices. Vincent doesn't get to decide who I care about. Even if it costs you everything? Especially then, Maya's eyes fill with tears. I can't let you destroy your life for me. You're not letting me do anything, Dante says, stepping closer. This is my choice. Mine, and I choose you. Why? She asks desperately. Why risk everything for a waitress you barely know? Because when I look at you, Dante says, voice rough, I see the future I thought I'd never have. I see mornings that don't start with violence, and nights that don't end with blood. I see someone who looks at me and sees a man, not a monster, and I'm not giving that up. Not for Vincent, not for anyone. He cups her face in his hands. I love you, he says simply. And I know it's too soon, and too complicated, and probably the worst decision I've ever made. But I love you, and that's not going to change because someone tells me it should. Maya's breath catches. You love me? Terrifyingly, Dante says. Stupidly. Completely. She kisses him, hard and desperate, pouring 3 weeks of fear and hope into it. When they break apart, she whispers, I love you too. His eyes close briefly. When they open, they're blazing. Then we fight, together. And we find a way out of this that doesn't require you disappearing, or me pretending I don't care. How? Maya asks. I don't know yet, Dante admits. But I'll figure it out. His phone rings. He ignores it. It rings again. Answer it, Maya says. He does, putting it on speaker. Sophia's voice fills the room, tight with urgency. Dante, we have a problem. Someone just hit the safe house. Maya's stomach drops. What? Armed men. 3 of them. They didn't find anyone because you're both elsewhere. But they knew about the location. Which means someone talked. Dante's expression goes lethal. Who? I'm working on it. But Dante, they left a message, written on the wall in spray paint. Bring the girl to Pier 47. Midnight. Come alone or we start with her sister. Maya feels the floor tilt. Lily. Oh God, Lily. She's safe, Sophia says quickly. I've got her. Pulled her out of her dorm 20 minutes ago. She's scared and confused, but she's alive. Keep her that way, Dante orders. Full protection. No one gets within 50 feet. Already done. What about you two? Dante looks at Maya. We're going to Pier 47. That's a trap, Sophia says. I know. They'll be waiting with enough firepower to level a city block. I know. Dante. Sophia. His voice cuts through her protests. They threatened Lily. That line was crossed. So we end this. Tonight. Silence. Then, I'm coming with you. No, you stay with Lily. If this goes wrong, she'll need someone she trusts. And if it goes wrong, you'll be dead, Sophia says bluntly. Then Maya gets out, Dante replies, looking at her. You make sure she gets out. That's an order. Dante, I can't just... Sophia starts. That's an order, Dante repeats, voice like iron. Another pause. Understood. Be careful, boss. He hangs up and immediately starts making calls. Maya watches him transform, sees the man who survived 15 years in a world that eats the weak. He's calm, focused, deadly. But his hands shake slightly when he loads his gun. I'm going with you, Maya says. No, you're not. Yes, I am. They want me. That's the only leverage you have. I'm not using you as bait, Dante says flatly. You're not using me, Maya corrects. I'm offering. If we do this, we do it together. He looks at her, really looks at her. You could die. So could you. That's different. Why? Because your life matters less than mine? She steps closer. Dante, I'm not letting you walk into an ambush alone while I hide. That's not who I am. Maya, I'm going, she says firmly. You can either plan for that or waste time arguing. His jaw clenches. Then finally he nods. You stay behind me. You do exactly what I say. And if I tell you to run, you run. No arguments. Okay. I mean it, Maya. No heroics. No trying to save me. You run, and you don't look back. She doesn't promise that part. They both know she's lying if she does. They spend the next few hours preparing. Dante makes calls to people whose names Maya doesn't recognize, speaks in code she doesn't understand. He gives her a gun and shows her how to use it. Safety, aim, squeeze the trigger, don't jerk. I don't want to shoot anyone, Maya says. Then don't, Dante replies. But if someone's shooting at you, I want you to have options. At 11:30, they leave the safe house. The drive to Pier 47 is silent, tense. The city slides past the windows, oblivious to what's about to happen. When they pull up to the pier, it's exactly as ominous as Maya imagined. Dark, abandoned, the kind of place where bad things happen and no one hears you scream. Dante parks a block away. Last chance to stay in the car. Not a chance. His hand finds hers, squeezes once. I love you. Whatever happens, remember that. We're both walking out of this, Maya says with more confidence than she feels. They approach the pier on foot. Maya's heart hammers so hard she's surprised it doesn't echo off the buildings. Dante moves like a shadow, silent and sure. The pier opens up before them, water black and vast beyond the wooden planks, and waiting in the center, backlit by a single floodlight, are 6 men. No, not just men. The one in the center, Maya recognizes. Silver hair, cold blue eyes, Richard Sullivan. I thought you retired, Dante calls out. Sullivan smiles. I did. But then Vincent Vitali made me a very interesting offer. Remove his problem child, and I get Caruso's entire territory. Vincent wouldn't, Dante starts, then stops. He's testing me. He's reminding you where your loyalties lie, Sullivan corrects. You've gotten soft, Moretti, weak, all because of her. He nods at Maya. So here's how this works. You walk away, leave the girl, we handle her quietly, and you go back to being Vincent's golden boy. Or, Dante asks, voice deadly calm. Or we kill you both. Dante laughs, the sound cold. You think 6 men is enough? I think you're outnumbered and outgunned, Sullivan says. But hey, if you want to die for a waitress, that's your choice. Dante glances at Maya. In his eyes, she sees the calculation, the strategy, the willingness to do whatever it takes. Then he looks back at Sullivan and says 2 words that change everything. I resign. Sullivan blinks. What? I resign from the Vitali family, Dante says clearly. Effective immediately. So whatever orders Vincent gave you, whatever test this is, I'm no longer his problem. You can't just quit, Sullivan sputters. I just did. Dante's hand moves to his gun, smooth and practiced. So now you have a choice. Walk away, and this ends here. Or test whether 6 men is really enough. Spoiler. It's not. For a heartbeat, no one moves. Then Sullivan makes his mistake. He reaches for his weapon. Dante moves first. 3 shots, perfectly placed. Sullivan goes down. 2 of his men drop before they clear their holsters. The remaining 3 open fire. Dante shoves Maya behind a shipping container, returns fire with brutal efficiency. She hears the crack of bullets, the smell of gunpowder, the wet sound of impacts she tries not to think about. Stay down, Dante shouts. She does, pressing herself against cold metal, hands over her ears, trying not to scream. It's over in less than a minute. When the shooting stops, her ears ring in the sudden silence. Maya, Dante's voice, rough but alive. It's okay. You can come out. She peers around the container. 4 men down, not moving. 2 running toward the street, smart enough to know when they've lost. And Dante, standing in the middle of it all, breathing hard, bleeding from his shoulder but alive. So alive. Maya runs to him, and he catches her with his good arm. You're hurt, she says, seeing the blood. Flesh wound, he says. I've had worse. Sirens wail in the distance. Dante swears softly. We need to leave, he says. Now. They run. The safe house is compromised. Maya's apartment is too obvious. So Dante takes them to the only place left, a hotel room paid for in cash under a name that doesn't exist. He patches his shoulder with supplies from a convenience store first aid kit, while Maya watches, helpless and terrified. You need a hospital, she says. I need to not be arrested, Dante corrects. Hospital means questions. Questions mean police. Police mean, I know, Maya interrupts. I know. When he's bandaged, he sits on the edge of the bed and finally lets exhaustion show. I quit, he says, half laughing, half disbelieving. I actually quit. What happens now? Maya asks. I don't know, he admits. Vincent will either respect the resignation or put a price on my head. Could go either way. And if it's a price, then we run. You, me, Lily, somewhere they won't find us. Maya sits beside him. Is that the life you want? Running? He's quiet for a long moment. I want whatever life has you in it. Everything else is negotiable. Her phone, the burner buzzes. A text from Sophia. Lily's safe. Asking a lot of questions. What should I tell her? Maya types back. The truth. She deserves to know. Another text arrives. This one from an unknown number. Vincent Vitale requests a meeting. Tomorrow, noon, neutral location. He promises safe passage. Dante reads it over her shoulder. It's probably a trap. Probably. Maya agrees. But we don't have a lot of other options. They go to the meeting. It's a park this time, public and crowded. Vincent sits on a bench feeding pigeons like a man without a care in the world. Dante and Maya approach cautiously. Vincent looks up, sees Dante's bandaged shoulder, and sighs. Sullivan was a test, Vincent says. You failed. I passed. Dante corrects. Just not the test you wanted. You resigned. Vincent's tone is impossible to read. Yes. Because of her. Because of me. Dante says firmly. Because I'm tired of being a weapon. Because I want something different. Vincent studies them both. You know what happens to people who leave the family? Usually. Dante agrees. But I'm not usual. I know where every body is buried. I know every secret, every deal, every vulnerability. That knowledge keeps me alive, or it burns everything down. You're threatening me, Vincent says mildly. I'm offering a trade, Dante corrects. I walk away quietly. I disappear. I never speak about the family, never interfere with operations. In exchange, you let me go. Let us go. Vincent feeds another pigeon. And if I refuse, then we all lose something, Dante says. I lose my life. You lose control of information that could destroy the family. Maya and her sister spend the rest of their lives looking over their shoulders. Nobody wins. The silence stretches. Finally, Vincent speaks. You were the best I ever had. Smart, loyal, effective. It's a shame to lose you. But you're letting me go, Maya says, reading between the lines. Vincent looks at her directly for the first time. You must be extraordinary for him to give up everything for you. She is, Dante says simply. Vincent stands, brushing crumbs from his coat. You have 72 hours. After that, I've never heard of either of you. Where you go, what you do, it's not my concern. But Dante, if you ever come back to New York, if you ever involve yourself in family business again, the deal is void. Understood, Dante says. Vincent nods once, then walks away, surrounded by men. Maya didn't notice until they moved. She and Dante stand in the park, breathing in their new reality. So we leave, Maya says. Start over somewhere else. Portland, Dante suggests. Or Seattle. Somewhere it rains and no one asks questions. And Lily comes with us if she wants, or stays if she doesn't. Her choice. Maya thinks about her sister, brilliant and 19 and finally safe. She should finish school here. Have a normal life. We'll set up a trust, Dante says. Something Vincent can't touch. She'll be taken care of. And us? He takes her hand. We figure it out. New names, new jobs, new everything. It won't be easy. Will it be safe? Safer than this, he says. And together. That's what matters. They leave New York 3 days later. Lily comes to see them off, angry and scared and tearful. I don't understand, she says for the 10th time. Why can't you just stay? Because the people we got tangled up with don't forget, Maya explains. But you'll be safe. I promise. How do you know? Because the most powerful man in the city guaranteed it, Dante says. You'll have security, funding for school, everything you need. Lily looks at him. You really love my sister? Yes. Enough to give up everything? Everything I was. Before, Dante corrects. But I get to become something better. That's not a sacrifice. That's a gift. Lily hugs Maya so hard her ribs ache. You better call me every week. Every day if you want, Maya promises. They arrive in Portland on a Tuesday. The apartment is small, affordable, nothing like the safe house or Dante's penthouse, but it's theirs. Dante finds work in private security, the legal kind. Maya gets a job at a bookstore that pays half what the Carlyle did but doesn't come with handsy executives. Slowly, carefully, they build something that looks like a life. Some nights, Dante wakes up gasping, fighting invisible enemies. Maya holds him until the past releases its grip. Some nights, she dreams of the alley, of Marcus's hands, of the warehouse. Dante's there when she wakes, solid and real. They learn each other's scars. They celebrate small victories. They argue about dishes and laugh about nothing and kiss like they're still discovering what the other person tastes. Like, 6 months in, Dante comes home with a small box. Maya looks at it suspiciously. What is that? Open it, he says. Inside is a key. A key to what? Maya asks. The bookstore next door to yours just went up for sale, Dante says. I thought maybe we could buy it. Make it a cafe. Something that's completely ours. Her eyes fill with tears. That's a lot of money. I have a lot of money, Dante says. Most of it earned in ways I'm trying to atone for. Let me use it for something good. She kisses him. Yes. 1,000 times yes. They open the cafe 8 months later. It's small, cozy, the kind of place where people linger over coffee and books. They name it Second Chances because they're both terrible at subtlety and don't care. Lily visits for Thanksgiving. She's thriving at NYU, dating a philosophy major who makes her laugh, building the future their parents wanted for her. Over dinner, she asks the question Maya's been waiting for. Are you happy? Maya looks at Dante, across the table. He's relaxed in a way she never saw in New York. The hard edges softened by time and safety and love. Yes, Maya says honestly. I really am. That night, after Lily's gone to bed in the guest room, Dante and Maya sit on their tiny balcony watching the rain. Do you ever regret it? Maya asks. Giving up everything? I regret that people got hurt, Dante says. I regret the violence, the fear, the things I can't take back. But leaving? Choosing you? He pulls her closer. That's the only decision I've never questioned. She rests her head on his shoulder. I love you. I love you too. They sit in comfortable silence, watching the city that doesn't know their names, doesn't care about their past, just lets them be two people who found each other in the dark and chose the light. It's not the ending Maya imagined when she locked the side door of Delaney's diner all those months ago. It's better, because she's not just surviving anymore, she's living. And the man who once whispered, touch her again and you're dead, now whispers, I love you every morning. That's the kind of happy ending that doesn't come from fairy tales. It comes from choosing each other, every day, despite everything. And choosing each other is exactly what they plan to keep doing. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you loved this story, check out the other videos on your screen now. I think you'll really enjoy them. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. See you in the next story.